Where are we, Dad?
Akihabara, Akihabara, wherever it is, I'm there.
Jace in Japan.
Welcome back to Tokyo, and we're back on the trains. They have these lovely windows so you can actually see right over at the back of the trains. We're watching this pulling out of the station. And the funny thing is, it's like the perfect advert, because right next to this window is an advert for Train Simulator. They are train crazy in Japan. This is Tokyo International Station. Now, Tokyo Station is a beautiful old building in the heart of the capital. It's actually twinned with Grand Central Station in New York, but I'm not sure you can get a train between the two. It's very hot here, about 30 degrees. It's kind of misty. It's nice to see an older building. This is boring, Jace. Come on. Surely you didn't wait this long to go there. Surely nobody would wait this long to go there. Jace is in Akihabara. Turn the camera, Jace. Now, Akihabara, or Akib to the locals, has to be the most famous gamers destination in the world. It's the home of thousands and thousands of games, and I'm going to blind you with games. Here we are then in our first game shop. It's just a general store, not particularly retro, but it does have old formats. There's PS4. Yes, PlayStation 4, a lot of PlayStation 4. They're all in these plastic protective cases. I think they're all sealed, that's why. Nobody wants to touch the seal. Big boxes, special editions at the bottom. Vita. So how much is the Vita game? Yeah, PlayStation Vita. There is a lot of PlayStation Vita in Japan. Some of these games less than £1 each. Every shop you go to has these anime models. They're everywhere.
Get a little figure of a man with one eye.
Very cute. Yeah, Xbox Fighters Uncaged. And Xbox is popular at 1880, so 1,000 is about £6. So it's about a tenner. It's about a tenner. And of course, lots of Switch.
Loads of Switch stuff.
As you'd expect, there is a ton of Switch stuff. It's the dominant format in Japan. DVDs. Yes, DVDs, we'll come to that.
They've also got Switch lights in here. 15,000.
50,000?
15.
15,000 is about £90. Not bad at all for a really nice Switch light. 10th anniversary box of... What is the game? It's got to be RPG. Sakajo, Nomi. I mean, for a 3DS. 3DS, that is a massive box. It's 4,380. That's about £30. So what do you need to do after a bit of shopping? A bit of arcade fun. So we headed to Gigo. This place was formerly Sega Arcades, but they sold the chain to Gigo. And inside, what do you think you're going to find? Taiko drum, a whole area cordoned off, soundproofing. People bring their own drumsticks. Bomani games are still the kings of Japanese arcades. Check this guy in his special gloves. It's like a dance. It's like a hand jazz dance. Amazing. Nothing compared to these guys though. It's mesmerising. It really is mesmerising. I can't believe these guys. Can you imagine people doing this in arcades here?
Japanese for beginners.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. That's how you meant to say it, not konnichiwa, but at least you're trying. And I would say Japanese people, they like speaking English to us. If you go to Tokyo, you're not going to struggle with the language. They all learn English from about the age of 4 or 5, and they like to practice on us. So you're not going to struggle, really. And Japanese people are so lovely, they really will bend over to accommodate your bad communication.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah, I mean, generally no problems at all. But if you make the effort, if you say a few simple Japanese phrases or things, I think people, they realise you're making the effort and they love you for it. So, you know, you're going to be more popular, people are going to like you better if you just give it a little go. So, the first thing is konnichiwa, or which is hello. Now, most people already know this word, that's fine. But what about please or thank you? Now, the word please is kudasai. Kudasai. Just adding that in if you're buying something, you know, point to it, kudasai. That means you're just being super polite, and the Japanese respect politeness. Now, the other one is, and you've probably heard this lots of times, arigato. Arigato, thank you. But nobody actually says arigato in Japan. They say the full phrase, which is arigato gozaimasu. Now, arigato gozaimasu means thank you very much, whereas, you know, and probably if you were in a shop in the UK, you'd more likely say thank you very much.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
So it's definitely worth using at least those few phrases. So what we've got, konnichiwa, kudasai, and arigatou gozaimasu. Another lesson soon. It's time to investigate our first big shop, and there it is, Akihabara Radio Kaikan. Now, this is a huge mega store, 10 floors of smaller collectors and hobbyist shops. It's an amazing place, a brilliant place to start. I can barely begin to scratch the surface, but I can give you a little overview. This first shop is called Hobby Station, and it sells cards, collectible cards like your Pokemon cards, like your Digimon cards, Dragon Ball Z cards. I mean, there's so many different cards to collect, and this is a chance to buy them individually, complete your sets. As you can see, people are very enthusiastic about getting them. Cheapest card we found, about 50p. Most expensive, about £200 for an individual card. Now, in the last show we covered gachapon, the small gifts you get from the little machines. Well, what about this for a shop? This sells gachapon contents. That's right, so if you missed out the complete set, look at these little TVs, you can buy them individually, and a lot of the time they're similar price to if you'd won them in the machine. Little tiny food machines.
Yeah, there's little tiny Tamagotchi.
Karaoke machines. Most gachapon prizes include a little leaflet that tells you what's inside, and these leaflets are included with the items generally. And if you're thinking there's a bit too much to take in here, Jace, welcome to my world. It's like Japanese blindness. The shops are so full of things you can barely focus on what's there. I think there's some Club Penguin penguins. Some little blockhead men. Oh, some little dinners. Some cats. Little Pez machines. Yeah, Izzy was very, very fascinated by this stuff. Little Space Invaders key rings. Yes, Famicom, reproduction Famicom carts. Very unusual. Here they are, the Tamagotchis. Now they don't work, they're just models of Tamagotchis, but Izzy bought some. Old style cassette recorders, like reel to reel. Back to the Future cars. Chuckies. Found some stuff. Mario. Terminator. So 10 floors of stuff. It's pretty daunting. I mean, if this shop was in London, it would be the best shop in London. There is so much stuff to buy. It's an absolute different league to any retail experience you would get here in the UK. And yes, there's retro game stuff here. I do dwell a bit on the Nintendo, a bit of N64, GameCube. Yes, Super Famicom, Mother 2 there, hard to play in Japanese, but not a bad price at all. Bomberman, Zelda DX for Game Boy Color, 4280, about 25 quid. Animal Crossing on N64. Mario RPG, that's 1780, that's under a tenner. Wow. Mint Kirby 64 for a fiver. Or Diddy Kong Racing for 4 quid. Hey You Pikachu with the microphone, that is 13 quid. That's the same price as Smash Brothers on GameCube or Smash Brothers on N64. Or how about £24 for Donkey Kong 64 with the expansion pack, huge box. Beautiful Dragon Buster for Famicom, 12 quid. What about some loose carts? Mario Party, £2.60. Kirby 64, £2.60. Mario 64, £2.60. Alice Waku Waku Trumps, 4 quid. Some beautiful original Famicom, Splatterhouse, Zelda, and of course tons of PS2 stuff that didn't come close to a UK release. Loads of stuff in big, funky boxes. Cheap as well. That's £2.60. Gundam Battle Universe. Or spend £2.60 on Diabolic Lovers for PSP. Loads of Dreamcast and Sega Saturn, as you would expect. Dragon Quest 7 on PS1, Tobal number 1. Climax Landers. Now I didn't know what this was, but apparently it's a game based on Darkstalkers, which did come out for UK Dreamcast. God Eater 2, that is 80 yen. 80 yen, that's about 100 yen is 60p, so that's about 40 pence. Yeah, that's right, PS Vita game, God Eater 2, 40p. There are so many obscure DS and 3DS games here that I'm not sure a full, complete catalogue actually exists yet of all the titles. Did I mention this place has got 10 floors? Yeah, 10 floors. It's just insane. Collectible figures, models, toys, and then mountains of ephemera. So badges, stickers, posters, books, cards. Nudie cards. It didn't take me long to get to sort of some strange realisation that if this was the only shop in Akihabara, I think it'd still be worth travelling halfway around the world to go there. It's just like nowhere else you've ever been, and this is just one shop. Strangely, it doesn't take long for your eyes to get fatigued and you think, I'm missing out on stuff, there's so much to see, I can't focus. Oh, Robot. This is Yellow Submarine, big shop in Japan for collector's cards and board games, very popular. Model kits, but this, you can see how many cards there are, all the different ranges of cards for different games. And what quickly becomes apparent is that the Japanese have a huge passion for model making and creating things, parts paradise, model parts, paints, brushes, train sets, anything. If you make it, you can build it, we want it. Now a lot of the shops don't like you filming, so you have to be a bit careful. Photos easier to get away with, so this is all a bit covert. Here's some photos of trains, beautiful train sets. little tiny cows and figures, little tiny people there for the stations. Formula 1, an old Japanese plane model. Yeah, guns, airsoft, Uzis and sawn-off shotguns. And what better way to finish your shop than go to the top floor and play Yu-Gi-Oh! With all your mates. Welcome to Dolpo. Now the Japanese have a fascination with dolls. You probably already knew that. This is a specialist shop for dolls. Here is a family tree of the dolls they sell. And some of these dolls are over £1,000. Yes, £1,000. There is something quite sad about seeing all these dolls in beautiful clothes. You can customise them, you can get eyes, you can get chests, replacement chests, different sizes. But this is the saddest part. Dolpo provides scenes for you to pose your doll in and take your own photographs for a small fee. And this lady's actually doing it. Can you imagine anywhere else this would be a successful business?
What you got, Jace?
I've got a cheese hot dog, cheddar cheese hot dog, and an orange juice.
Beautiful.
What have you got, is it?
Pepperoni and bacon pizza on a naan bread. Very nice, very good. And apple juice.
Gachapon time.
Yes, welcome back to the world of Gachapon, and Akihabara is a brilliant place to hunt down these cute machines full of gumph for a few coins, collect the set. Some of these shops, they're just sprawling. We're talking 6-7 floors of rooms stacked full of machines just like this. It's a bit daunting. So we're just looking at the Gachapon. What about a Gachapon bin? Yes, you can have your own mini bin. This is a real thing. A mini swing bin. And how much is that going to cost you, that mini swing bin? 400 for that one. I'm tempted to get the mini swing bin. Yes, and it's back to the studio for the finds. Yeah, back to the studio. Do you like it? Do you like it? So here it is. I did buy the bin from the Gachapon machine, and I'm going to open it up for you guys. I've saved up all the things so I could do it on camera when I got back, and here we have it. It looks as red as the thing. Here it is. There's the little leaflet to tell us about the whole bin collection. It's got a little display of all the bins. And let's get it out. Oh my goodness. What a treat. I've always wanted one of these. Put the lid on. There we go. And here it is. A little swing bin. A little mini swing bin. And I know what you're thinking. What the hell did you buy that for, Jace? I was caught in the moment, alright? One of these ones, yeah. That's the one you want, the barber's sign, the fluffy barber's sign.
Is it I don't know what it is, maybe toothpaste.
Pop your money in there. I think it is a barber's sign, you're right. Put the old money in. How much is this? 400. 400. We've got it. What is it? It's the barber sign.
What in the middle? Some pot of like curry or something? Curry and rice maybe?
You keep moving it, I can't focus so quick. Wow. Okay. Okay. So this is what we're going to get. We're going to get some toasty things. We're putting the money in. Izzy's saved up for this. She's turning the handle. Turning the handle. Here comes the ball. What did we get? What did we get? Oh my goodness.
I think this is the one I wanted actually.
What the hell is that?
I'm not really sure.
And how much was that?
300, which is...
300. £1.80.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Super Potato, the most famous retro gaming shop in all of Akihabara, and we're in for a treat. This is 8.5 minutes of solid games. Sega Saturn. Loads of Super Famicom. Hundreds of titles. Oh, the classic Pang. Game Boy, loose Game Boy cartridges. And a spooky light. Dead Heat Scramble, great game. PC Kid, more famous on the PC Engine. Beautiful Super Famicom games, all boxed. One of those awful modern HD Mega Drives. And there's an original Japanese Mega CD too. Here's the Mega Drive games, aren't they gorgeous? Bit of Kirby. Box Famicom. Not quite as cheap here as the other shops we've looked in. Famicom Disc. Never seen this game before. Reflect World on Famicom Disc. This is one of those new compilation cartridges, 3 Super Famicom games including Side Pocket, Joe and Mac. What about these cutie little Mario toys? Mario Chopsticks. Tons of Saturn, more Game Boy. These GBA games are all marked as new. I'm not sure if they're reissues. Something of a holy grail, these, the Famicom mini selection boxes. Game Boy Advance versions of classic Famicom games in box sets. Amazing. The Model F Game Boy. 65,000. The Mega CD can of games. Quite a lot of Mega CD here. Wolfchild. Boxed Game Gear. What about this? Sonic Drift 2. That's a sought after game, isn't it? 5478. Pengo. Lemmings. Oh, I like him. It's Hurley from Lost. Oh, it's a bit yellow. It's a bit yellow. Famicom Disk System. Wow. Metal Gear Rex. That's a full model kit. Back to PlayStation 1. New magazines on retro formats, including X68000. PCFX. Wow. Arcade style joysticks. Rare MSX games. Little models. Star Fox McCloud. And Mario. Watch out, look at the gold Mario. Oh, did you spot him? Only available to retailers. Densha Go train controller for PS2. Far East of Eden Deluxe Pack. Oi oi, something saucy.
Yeah, I bet they're very expensive, yeah?
Who's that guy in the mirror looking at the PC Engine? What about this beautiful Super Famicom storage case? Not for sale! Wow, Wheelie Racer for Epoch Super Cassette Vision.
Coleco.
Wasn't sure what this was, but it's a kind of multi-controller connector.
Atari in the house!
Atari in the house!
Ultraman on Bandai Playdia. Wow. Now here comes my favourites. Game & Watch Octopus. Fire. Donkey Kong Jr. all boxed. Mickey Mouse. Turtle Bridge. Donkey Kong 3 Microverses. Zelda double screen. And the rudest title for any Game & Watch, Manhole. Castlevania 2 handheld, and look at that, a YM901 competition prize game and watch. There are some absolute beauties in this glass cabinet. Gauntlet, Gallagher, Space Panic, but what about that Game Boy? A gold Hudson branded Game Boy. Not for sale. Wow, Bandai Machine Man, Penguin World, Mario Camera. More amazing PC Engine leading to Neo Geo AES. Blazing Star, Metal Slug 2, Mark of Garou, Virtual Bowling, new Captain Tomaday and Drift Outs, 3DO, Xbox, Dreamcast, PlayStation. So many rare things behind glass. A new LCD screen for your PC Engine. Zelda family. Look at these amazing Bomberman toys. Bombermen? An Odyssey 2. A rare Super Famicom. Japanese in television. Wow. Mario Brothers Lunchbox. PS2 Mark of the Wolves arcade stick. The rare Sanyo Tri 3DO. Look at this thing. I'm not really sure what it is. Some sort of model of a Famicom and disc. PCFX, the sequel to the PC Engine. Hang on, what's that? Yes, a model of the disc writer system I used to record Famicom discs in shops on. Wonder Swans, beautiful Pokemon Game Boy. Bargain Basement, it's broken. What a rush. We're off to the final floor, which is an arcade. Loads of classic machines and a bit of a cafe. I know this has been a bit of a mesmerising rush, but this really is a rough and ready, great place for gamers to hang out. It's got a great vibe about it. Oh, Snake! You alright, mate? Oh, what's happened to your gun? And unsurprisingly, after spending so much time in there, we've come to the end of another day and the end of another show. But we'll be back with plenty more very soon.
Next time on Jace in Japan.
We catch the Shinkansen or bullet train out of Tokyo. We experience what it's like in a Japanese pub. I try something new. Go anime crazy at Ghibli Park. And check out the most amazing retro game shop you'll ever see.